a Wikividi Documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Rita Ora. Rita Sahatchi Ora is a British singer and actress. She rose to prominence in February 2012 when she featured on DJ Fresh's single, Hot Right Now, which reached #1 in the UK. Her debut studio album, Ora, released in August 2012, debuted at #1 in the United Kingdom. The album contained the UK #1 singles, R.I.P. and How We Do. Ora was the artist with the most #1 singles on the UK Singles Chart in 2012, with 3 consecutive singles reaching the top position. In January 2014, Adidas announced to design a collaboration with Ora for their brand, Adidas Originals. The 2 singles from her upcoming second studio album, Your Song and Anywhere, both reached the UK Top 10 in 2017. Early life. Ora was born in Pristina, SFR Yugoslavia, to Albanian parents. Her mother, Vera, is a psychiatrist, and her father, Besnik Sahatchi, is an economist and a pub owner. Ora has an older sister, Elena, and a younger brother, Don. She was born as Rita Sahatchi, but her parents later added Ora to the family surname so it could be easily pronounced. Her family left Kosovo for political reasons, because of the persecution of Albanians initiated with the disintegration of Yugoslavia. They relocated to London, England in 1991, when she was a year old. She grew up in Notting Hill, in West London, and attended St Cuthbert with St Matthias Primary School in Earls Court, following which she graduated from a performing arts school, Sylvia Young Theatre School. She began singing at an early age. 2007-2010 Career beginnings. Ora began performing at open mic sessions around London and, occasionally, in her father's pub. In 2007, Ora had her first music release when she appeared on Craig David's track titled Awkward, and then again in 2008 on Where's Your Love, featuring Tinchy Stryder. On both tracks she was not officially credited. She featured on 2 songs of James Morrison's album, Songs for You, Truths for Me, as backing vocalist. In 2008, she auditioned for Eurovision, Your Country Needs You on BBC One to be the British contestant for the Eurovision Song Contest 2009 and qualified, but later withdrew from the competition after a few episodes as she did not feel ready and thought that challenge wasn't for her. Her manager, Sarah Stennett, later told Hit Quarters that Ora had entered the competition because, at the time, she felt it was her only chance at finding success. Stennett reassured her that performing in Eurovision would hinder rather than help her chances to make it as a solo artist. Shortly after, Ora's management got in touch with the American label, Roc Nation, and told them about her. Ora signed a recording deal and a publishing deal with Roc Nation in December 2008, and was one of their first signees. She made cameo appearances in Jay-Z's video for Young Forever, and Drake's video, Over. After being signed, Ora recorded an album and wanted to release it, but her label advised against it and she started to work on other material for her debut album. 2011-2013, Breakthrough and Ora. Throughout 2011, Ora released covers and videos about working on her debut album on YouTube. The videos caught the attention of DJ Fresh, who, at that time, was looking for a female vocalist for his song, Hot Right Now. Ora featured on the single that was released on the 12th of February 2012, debuting at #1 on the UK Singles Chart. During February 2012, Ora was also the opening act at the UK concerts from Drake's Club Paradise tour. The first UK single from her debut album, R.I.P., was released on the 6th of May 2012. Produced by Chase and Status, the song debuted at the top of the UK Singles Chart, becoming her first solo UK #1. On the 12th of August 2012, How We Do was released and reached #1 in the UK and Ireland. It was Ora's second UK #1 as a solo artist, and third overall in 2012, whilst supporting Coldplay on their Milo Xyloto tour. She later announced that her debut album would be titled Ora. The album was released on the 27th of August 2012 in Europe and Australasia, and debuted at the top of the UK Albums Chart. Ora was nominated For Best New Artist, Push Artist and Best UK/Ireland Act at the 2012 MTV Europe Music Awards. In September 2012, it was announced that Aura will be the opening act on the UK concerts from Usher's Euphoria tour set to start in January 2013. Eventually, the tour was postponed due to Usher's professional and personal commitments. From 23 October through to the 30th of October 2012, Aura embarked on her first headlining tour, Aura Tour, a mini-concert US tour. Shine Your Light, released on the 4th of November 2012, became Aura's fourth consecutive top 10 single in the UK, peaking at number 10. On the 28th of November 2012, Aura performed as a special guest at the concert held in Tirana, Albania for the 100th anniversary of the independence of Albania. Aura embarked on her first UK tour, Radioactive Tour, in January 2013, to support her debut album. She was nominated for 3 awards at the 2013 Brit Awards, including the Brit Award for British Breakthrough Act. 2013 present, upcoming second studio album. In January 2013, Aura revealed that her second album would be clearer and have more direction than the first one. On the 26th of February 2013, she revealed to Digital Spy that her second album shows a different angle to A Party Girl. On the 24th of May 2013, Aura was the headline act on In New Music We Trust stage at BBC Radio 1's Big Weekend. On the 28th of June 2013, Aura performed on the Pyramid stage at Glastonbury. On the 18th of May 2014, the song, I Will Never Let You Down, debuted at number 1 on the UK singles chart, making it Aura's fourth overall single to reach the apex of the chart, and third as a solo artist. In July 2014, Aura featured on Iggy Azalea's single titled Black Widow, which peaked at number 4 in the UK, and became Aura's first top 10 song on the US Billboard Hot 100 chart, peaking at number 3. On the 14th of December 2014, Aura performed at the 2014 telecast of Christmas in Washington, filmed at the National Building Museum. On the 22nd of February 2015, at the 87th Academy Awards, she performed the Academy Award-nominated song, Grateful, which appears in the film Beyond the Lights. On the 28th of June 2015, Aura released the song, Poison, which debuted at number 3 on the UK singles chart, becoming her 6th top 5 single in the country. In December 2015, Aura filed a lawsuit against Roc Nation, seeking release from the label and citing that the contract she signed in 2008 is unenforceable, due to California's 7-year rule. The complaint stated that she's only been permitted to release one album despite creating multiple additional records for release, and that her relationship with Roc Nation is irrevocably damaged. Her complaint also pointed out a breach of contract, reporting that Roc Nation breached the recording agreement by improperly taking 20% commission of her income. In January 2016, Roc Nation filed a counter-lawsuit against Aura for breaking her recording contract in New York. They reached a settlement in May 2016. In June 2016, it was reported that she signed a new record deal with Atlantic Records. On the 3rd of September 2016, she performed in a concert at the Basilica of St. Paul outside the walls, in Rome, at the vigil for Mother Teresa's canonization, alongside other Albanian artists, accompanied by the Kosovo Philharmonic Orchestra. On the 26th of May 2017, Aura released her first solo single in almost 2 years, titled Your Song, which peaked at number 7 in the UK. The track is expected to be the lead single from Aura's upcoming second studio album, after previous attempts at her second record were lost in her lawsuit against her former label, Roc Nation. Aura performed at BBC Radio 1's Big Weekend on the 28th of May 2017. The second single, Anywhere, became her 11th top 10 song in the UK, peaking at number 2. In January 2018, Liam Payne and Aura released the song, For You, from the soundtrack of the film 50 Shades Freed, in which Aura co-stars. In February, For You reached number 8 in the UK, marking Aura's 12th top 10 hit and equaling a 30-year-old record, jointly held by Shirley Bassey and Petula Clark, for most top 10 singles by a British female artist. Acting. An appearance in an episode of the British drama series, The Brief, was her first television role, at the age of 13. Shortly after, she appeared in the British film, Spivs. In April 2014, Aura appeared alongside Korean pop star, Hana, in an episode of Funny or Die called, Girl, You Better Walk. In 2015, she played Christian Grey's sister, Mia, in the film adaptation of the best-selling novel 50 Shades of Grey, a role she later reprised in the film's 2 sequels. Aura originally approached the production hoping to contribute to the film's soundtrack, and instead was asked to audition for the role of Mia Grey by the director of the film, Sam Taylor Johnson. She reprised her role as Mia in the 2 film sequels. Endorsements. In 2010, Aura featured in a commercial for Skullcandy headphones. She appeared in 2 Calvin Klein campaigns, in 2010 and 2011. In 2013, she was the face of Italian sneaker brand, Superga, and the new face of Material Girl, a clothing line designed by Madonna. In September 2013, cosmetics brand, Rimmel, announced their collaboration with Aura for makeup collections. She was the face of 2 Donna Karan 2014 collections, Resort Collection and Autumn/Winter Collection. She's also the face of the label's fragrance, DKNY My NY, inspired by New York City. In March 2014, Aura was one of the cast members of Marks & Spencer's Leading Ladies campaign. Later in 2014, she appeared as the face of Roberto Cavalli Autumn/Winter campaign. In 2015, she appeared in Coca-Cola and Samsung Galaxy S6 advertising campaigns. Design. In January 2014, Adidas announced to design a collaboration with Aura for their line of casual sports clothing, Adidas Originals. Aura designed her own apparel collections for the brand, including a footwear and accessories. In 2016, she collaborated with Italian fashion brand Tessines on a capsule lingerie collection. Television. Following the departure of Judge Kelly Rowland, Aura was asked to be a guest judge on the 9th series of The X Factor in the UK. She was a judge during the auditions that were filmed at the O2 Arena in London. In 2013 and 2014, Aura hosted the BBC Radio 1's Teen Awards alongside Nick Grimshaw. In 2015, she was a coach on the 4th series of The Voice UK on BBC One. The same year, it was confirmed that Aura and BBC Radio 1 presenter Nick Grimshaw signed as judges for the 12th series of The X Factor on the rival TV network ITV, after a bidding war between The X Factor and The Voice UK. In July 2016, Tyra Banks, the creator of America's Next Top Model, announced that Aura would replace her as host of the revamped show which aired on VH1. Aura hosted the 2017 MTV Europe Music Awards on the 12th of November in London, at Wembley Arena. Artistry. Aura possesses a mezzo-soprano vocal range. Aura credited Gwen Stefani and Beyoncé as her big influences. Her other musical influences include Freddie Mercury, Christina Aguilera, Tina Turner, Aretha Franklin, Ella Fitzgerald, Etta James, Celine Dion, Bruce Springsteen, David Bowie, and Sade. Aura also stated that she was inspired by her parents' record collection, which included artists such as Prince and Earth, Wind and Fire, among others. Brought to you by Wikividi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?